Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight, we have Sister Rosetta Tharpe. So we're going all the way back to the beginning here, and this video is going to be from, it says 1960, but I think it might actually be a little bit earlier than that, and she's going to be performing Up Above My Head. So there's going to be some interesting things to point out here, but let's have a little listen to Rosetta and see how she's getting on.
Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, there is music in the air. Up above my head, music in the air. And I really do believe joy somewhere. All in my room, music everywhere. All in my home, music in the air. Up above my head, that is music in the air. Well, I really do believe joy somewhere. Up above my head, music in the air, music in the air. Up above my head, there is music in the air. Up above my head, there is music in the air. You know, I really do believe joy somewhere.
I'm just going to stop it there because there's a few things to have a look at here. Just the case of it being so early, and some of the little lines that Rosetta's playing are so... Oh, I was going to say reminiscent, but that's not right because she was before Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry is actually 11 years younger. So when Rosetta was 23, that's when she had a kind of first hit, at least kind of the first songs that she recorded and released that went down really well, and she became quite popular. You can imagine that Chuck Berry's 11 or 12 years old. So imagining Chuck listening to the radio, or at least being in touch with the music of the time, and hearing Rosetta playing guitar and playing those lines, there's no doubt that he picked up from Rosetta and started copying these lines and started to work on his own playing, but basically taking that blueprint that's been laid down already. Another thing to mention here is that Rosetta was one of the first people ever, one of the first players to actually have a distortion sound on her guitar. So again, kind of breaking that new ground. It's basically just the formation of the blues, you know, and that's the foundation that she's laying down for other players to then copy. So yeah, really cool stuff here already. I always say that if you sing and play guitar at the same time, it kind of doubles the difficulty. So doing it kind of back then and playing the lines that Rosetta's playing is really impressive. You can imagine back when this was going on that Rosetta would have probably found a lot of resistance to her getting up and playing guitar and singing and being an entertainer, because guys pretty much ruled everything. And you know, I mean, it's a lot better now, but you'd still say that it's still got a long way to go until there's a total level playing field. And playing guitar is one of those things that is totally irrelevant to your gender. I mean, you get some great female players out there of guitar. Just ask Derek Trucks, for example. Another thing that I want to mention quickly is her induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an early influence. They have different kind of sections of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and her being, she's only just been named now, which is an absolute joke anyway, 2018. And for me, it's a case of she's influenced so many great players. I made a quick note of some of the actual artists that mention her as an influence on them and their music as they're growing up and as they're learning. And we've got Elvis, and we've got Jerry Lee Lewis, we've got Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Keith Richards, Chuck Berry, of course, Johnny Cash, Isaac Hayes, Tina Turner. So she kind of crossed over kind of all of the genres and really influenced so many great players. And the joke is that she influenced a lot of the people who are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're not just named as influencers, they are in the Hall of Fame. So I don't understand how she isn't in there. We're going to watch a little bit more just to appreciate her playing and also see where Chuck Berry probably picked up a lot of his ideas.
In my home, music everywhere. All in my home, singing right there. Up above my head, there is music in the air. You know I really do believe, I really do believe, joy so fine. Oh yes, oh yes.
There we go, and just that last phrase had such a Chuck Berry sound to it. You can see here when she's kind of playing, but she's kind of talking to the audience as well, and playing some really great blues lines here, and really great technique as well. And just those slides up the fretboard, so accurate and so cool. And not to mention her voice, what a great soulful voice she's got. You know, just real gospel, great gospel voice. And it just adds to that guitar. As I said before, it's that foundation of the blues. Kind of everything got laid out during these times, and then people just built on that foundation that had already been laid. So really great playing here from Rosetta. Another thing that's really sad is that when she died in 1973, she was buried in an unmarked grave. And that kind of says everything, that she was such an innovator and just paved the way for so many great artists and performers, but she didn't really get the recognition that she deserved. And even now it's still taking time to come out that, you know, she's influenced so many people. Let's kind of let everybody know, because I'm sure if you go up to somebody on the street and say, who's Sister Rosetta Tharpe, they'll say, don't know. You know, whereas she was so important. We're going to watch the rest of the video just so we get the resolution of the song, but really great playing there from Rosetta.
Up above my head, music in the air. Up above my head, there is music in the air. Oh, good Lord, I really do believe joy somewhere. You know, all in my heart, music everywhere. All in my soul. It makes me whole. It makes me feel so good. It makes me so happy. And I do believe joy somewhere. Well, above my head. Thank God Almighty. Music everywhere, up above my head. And don't you know, music in the air. Up above my head. Music in the air.
There we go, and then we have the quick fade out. And the one thing that you start to appreciate is her stage presence, and just that she's a natural entertainer. The way that she's kind of looking into the camera and she's delivering the lines, she's really got that personality as well. And again, another reason that probably back in those days, the men felt threatened by her, especially imagine the guys who play guitar. And then Rosetta just comes up and starts playing some of that stuff that Chuck Berry would probably get most of the recognition for later. But Rosetta kind of coming in so early and playing like that, she probably had so many barriers that she had to overcome to get just her voice heard and her playing heard. So we can't even imagine what that must have been like. Nowadays, you can start playing your guitar and upload it to YouTube, and nobody's ever going to stop you doing that. So it's just great. It's fantastic that we actually get YouTube videos now when we can look back to these times and see the people and the lady who actually, you know, laid the foundation for that blues style and that blues playing. But thanks so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at. Keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Some female guitarists would be welcome, so just to try and even it up a bit. So if you've got any suggestions for female guitarists, put those in the comments. I'm going to put a link to this in the description as well, so you guys can watch it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!